Analysts say they expect to see more mixed sentiments with a slightly positive tilt at the Nigerian equities market as more investors take advantage of stocks that declared interim dividends. And I have Abdulazeez Bakare, a consumer goods analyst at Chapel Hill Denham, joins us to discuss the sentiments at play in the markets. Thank you so much, Abdulazeez. And how are investors positioning today?
Come again?
How are investors positioning in the markets today?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. So the market has been largely quiet today. Just looking at the midday performance, we're just up marginally by 2 basis points. Yes, so many other things are ongoing. Companies are releasing their results, and investors are trying to digest these results in order to know or take positions for the rest of the year.
All right, but are we still seeing that flight to the fixed income market from investors?
Yeah, so as of last week, we saw significant sell-offs in the equities market. Likes of MTN, we saw at some points touch as low as 190 naira. Although right now it's back up. I think despite the earnings release, most of these companies released just in looking at their performances was largely in line with our expectation. However, looking at how rates have been trending up in the fixed income markets, given that market is actually really safe compared to the equities front, we started to see more of activity on that front. We started to see even the Nigerian Treasury bill, the 90-day was touching us almost 10%. So that was at the last week. But coming this week, we've seen a lot of moderation in the market. Even now that today, just really few activities in the equity space.
Yeah, but how would you assess the half-year results you've seen so far across board?
Okay, generally, it's actually really good, I would say. Just looking at the consumer names as well, despite the tough macroeconomic environment, we've been seeing stellar earnings. Just to give you a bit of context, just focusing on the bureau space, the likes of international bureaus, the likes of Nigerian bureaus, Guinness. Just looking at the bottom line is actually higher. So for international bureaus, coming from a loss position as at this same period last year to a positive position around 330 million naira. So overall, what these companies have been doing is actually increasing their price in order to defend their margins. We've been seeing a lot of increase in cost of goods or cost of raw materials. And in order to actually still perform, they actually need to increase price in order to be able to deliver strong earnings. So that's largely the story for most of the consumer group. And just looking at their half-year results, due to that price increase and also volume growth, we've been seeing good results from these companies. But what does bother us generally is because unlike Q1 2022, when we saw earnings release, the likes of Unilever, Cadbury, we saw what happened when this company released their Q1 financials. But right now, just looking at the H1, we've not really seen that reaction in the market. We've not really seen investors ride on the back of this earnings release, not because they are not great, but because of what is going on across. And also, Nigeria is in the pre-election year. Gradually, we're getting closer to that election period. So that investor apathy is starting to set in.
Yeah, but could this also be because of the dividend payouts announced?
I would tie a little to that. I think just generally what's going on in the fixed income market, then the election period coming up very soon. So I think that's just really the driver. That's just really the sentiment. The earnings are really very.
But when you look closely at the consumer names, though, yes, we understand that they've had FX issues. The operating environment is not the best. But in terms of the results and what has come out so far, what other trends are you noticing, that's playing out across board?
Okay. Yeah, you said it all. So in consumer generally, that FX pressure is actually really one of the major factors. But I would say it's not a new thing. It's not as if it's just sort of a sudden that we started to face these FX issues. It has even been way before the year started. So investors are just really looking towards the old macroeconomic environment. They're also looking at the election period. They're also looking at what's going on in the fixed income market. Just taking you back to this level in 2017, something similar happened. and where we saw elevated fixed income rates. Then we said, although at that particular year, equity markets still performed excellently well. But just looking at this period, we are very close to election year, so a lot of investors are trying to just be focused on fundamental stocks, stocks that they are really confident about that would actually deliver in terms of capital gain and also dividend.
All right, but in terms of the millers, though, the flour, likes of flour mills and Honeywell, what else are you seeing in those numbers from those companies?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. Yeah, flour mills, they just released their results. I think it was even just this week. I would say it was a consolidated result. So it was, just based on the recent acquisition. So they actually consolidated their performance, their financial results with Honeywell. So due to the Honeywell's performance, we didn't really see that strong, um, result from flour mills as a whole. Just a company turning out a revenue of over 300 billion naira, now seeing earnings at very low. Just looking at year-on-year earnings growth is about 0.9%, which is very marginal. And that's just due to Honeywell. So we've actually had a discussion with the management and letting us know that within a year from now, we'll start to see the impact of the Honeywell farming on farming as a whole.
Yeah,
So we just expect.
but
Okay.
very quickly, because I also want to ask about the company like Boa Foods. We just saw that they consolidated five of their businesses together. And how is that playing out in terms of their earnings?
Okay.
That's
So
Boa
we do not
Foods.
cover Boa Food here, so I'm not really able to talk much on that.
Oh, okay.